but your shoulder is going to be 4 inches. So that means we have to get rid of 2 inches. When we do an overlap, we really have to close this up 1. Okay, we got to decrease this shoulder to 2 inches because you've measured from your neck down to your elbow. I mean, not your elbow, your shoulder. There's no seam allowances on here. So if you're using your regular pattern, you need to mark off your seam. You need to mark off your seam allowance. So this is from stitching line to stitching line. And so what you need to do, here is your back curve of your armhole. Find the middle. So that's where I marked the middle. And then you're going to square a line. And squaring a line means that you just want a line that is at a right angle to another straight edge, which would be your center front. Draw a line. And then from your shoulder, you come over 2 inches. 1, 2. So this is 2 inches. Static. And then you're going to square off of this line. You're going to square a line at that 2-inch mark. Okay. And then we want to close up 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to make another mark for 1 inch. And I'll explain why that is. So we're going to cut this quadrant off. Okay. And so there's 1 inch between here and here, and then on your shoulder slope, stop it. We're going to mark 1 inch on your shoulder slope. And I'll tell you why. So to get 4 inches, you're going to take your shoulder slope and you're going to bring it over. So this 1 inch and this 1 inch is 2 inches. Let me get my tape. Where's my tape? I thought I had everything out. So tape there and tape here. So we've just decreased our shoulder slope. Hold on, let me get you up here. Did you hear that? We've just decreased our shoulder slope to 4 inches. But now we have this jog right here and we have this opening right here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this piece of paper. So you want to make sure that you have room to draw on here. I'm going to anchor this down. So the first thing I'm going to do is redraw my shoulder slope, starting from the stitch line here at your neck, going down to your shoulder point. Connect those 2 lines. So that's your new shoulder slope, which is going to measure 4 inches. Don't make me look bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4 in a little bit because I finagled that because it wasn't exactly 6 inches. It was a little over. And then you have to redraw. So here's your corner. You have to redraw your armhole. So we're going to aim for somewhere right around here to this point. There. And so when you go to cut out your new pattern for your, this is the back, I'm only going to cut what I need. Ooh, ooh. And I don't need this in the back. And there is your back. That's your new shoulder and armhole. So now that you have, that's the back. So that same thing has to happen for the front. Actually, I think that was the front. Yes. That was the front. This is the front. This is the back. And so now when we try to, if you don't do your back, it's not going to match. So we have to do the same thing for this piece. Find somewhere in the middle of the shoulder. Ooh, I'm going to do right here. Square a line over. And when it comes to pattern adjustments, practice makes perfect. I'm going to go over 2 inches so that I can square my line. You're going to cut this out. So I want to take 2 inches out. So I'm going to mark 1 inch on there. And then, oh my gosh. And then from this piece here, mark 1 inch. I'm going to go down here, mark another 1 inch. So this is the original pattern for your shoulder. So what you're going to do is you're just going to slide it across this line until it matches up with your mark up here, and you're going to tape it. At the top, redraw your shoulder slope. Get some, you didn't hear that. You didn't hear it, ignore it. Get some pattern paper or some tissue paper to place underneath your shoulder. And you're going to tape. So we have our shoulder slope here, and then we're going to redraw our arm. Let me get in camera. From here to here. I like that. Okay, and then we're going to cut our new pattern. Oh, let me take this down. And to the replay viewers, thank you. I appreciate your support. Okay. And then, so now here is the back, and here is the front. Let me go up some so you can see. So now when you put these two together and stitch them, you have a, so imagine that I put my seam allowance back on there. So we'll just give this like a little tiny seam allowance here, because I'm not going to redraw this with seam allowance. But say we have this on here, and we're just going to go ahead, and our tape is now thread. We've sewn our shoulders together, and there you go. Can you see it? trying to get it right. So here's the neck, here's the half of the neckline, and here's your armhole. You'll true up your see how that's coming to a point. You just true it up, and you can lie it flat and just give it a nice curve. And with the shoulder width, you shouldn't have to do too much with the sleeve, because we have not done anything with the length of the armhole, so the sleeve should still fit in here. All right, so I hope that was helpful. So that is how you would do an adjustment for the width of your shoulder. Now I have two other pieces here. This is this is the front and this is the back. We're going to say